Good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to From the Nosebleeds. I'm Joey Gunnar here with Trent Finnegan. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. It was a fun NFL game slate we got to witness yesterday. It was fun for me to get to watch it with the Broncos on the bye week. You know, we were able to go through Red Zone and be able to watch all the games that were happening. The Lions versus the Giants was a heater of a game. Of course, Shedeur Sanders getting his first start. But the most important game of the day happened between Kansas City and the Indianapolis Colts. And this game was very polarizing for Broncos fans because on one hand, some people wanted the Chiefs to win so that the Colts could be knocked down a notch and the Broncos would be tied for first or now only behind the Patriots in terms of the standings. But the Patriots still do have that bye week coming up. But on the other hand, people wanted the Chiefs to lose and the Colts to win because a lot of people, and I know you lean this way, wanted the Chiefs to be as far away from the Broncos as possible in the playoffs. I was on one end, you were on another. That game was crazy nonetheless. How are you feeling this morning, Trent?
I'm feeling good. It was a good day of football. It was a fun day of football. You know, the slate didn't look great yesterday, and I know the Sunday nightcap wasn't exactly great with LA throttling the Bucks, but still a couple of good games throughout the day. It was a very fun day, but like you said, get Patrick Mahomes as far away from Empower Field at Mile High in January as possible. I don't want him anywhere near the city of Denver come playoff time. And right now, the Broncos are the 2 seed and the Chiefs are the 10 seed, but they're just one game out of 7th place for a wild card spot. And look here, all 3 wild card teams right now are 7-4, and then the next 3 teams, including Kansas City, are 6-5. So even though they're the 10 seed right now, there's still plenty of football to be played. And if they lost yesterday, it would have dropped them to 5-6. It would have been a big uphill climb for them to get back into the playoffs. And that was a huge win for KC. And look, I know that the Broncos just took down the Chiefs. I know they look good in that game. This is still Patrick Mahomes in a playoff game. And the most important thing any team can have in a playoff game is a quarterback. You've seen Patrick Mahomes. He's been through the ringer dozens and dozens of times in playoff games. Bo Nix has been through the ringer once. A guy like Daniel Jones has been through the ringer once. I'd rather play an inexperienced quarterback in a playoff game than play a guy like Mahomes. And I think that the Colts have a tough schedule. I think that there are more opportunities for them to lose and give Denver a better path to the 1 seed going forward. I thought it was better for the Broncos for the Colts to win that game, but Chiefs clutched up like the Chiefs do late in the season.
Yeah, and I was happy about it. You know, going to overtime, you have the Chiefs on the field in overtime, you can already tell who's going to win. And so you go to overtime with the Chiefs, Colts and Chiefs. Chiefs end up pulling it out, of course, like they do. I'm not upset about it. In fact, I'm quite the opposite. I'm really happy. The Chiefs are in the rearview mirror. They're behind the Broncos now. They are behind the Broncos. The Broncos beat them already. They don't need to worry about them. Sure, I guess the playoffs, you know, everybody starts at 0. You know, it's a whole new season once you're in the playoffs, basically. But the Chiefs pose no real threat to the Broncos any longer. I mean, what they did helped the Broncos yesterday. Now the Broncos are eyeing that number 1 seed. They have it, basically. They're only just 1 game behind the Patriots because the Patriots don't have their bye week for another 2 weeks. And the Patriots have a really tough schedule coming up too, where the Broncos, they've got the Commanders this week, and the week after that, they've got the Raiders. Those are 2 games that the Broncos should win handedly. So they are in a perfect position to get the bye, and that is the most important thing right now. If you're scared about Patrick Mahomes, I get it. You're scared about Patrick Mahomes. The man's the boogeyman. But you have a first-round bye. You have 1 more week to not have to worry about him. You know, he could end up losing in that wild card round. You got to think about it that way because there is a real possibility that he does sneak into the playoffs and then loses in the first round to Josh Allen. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. And again, you got a Christmas game coming up between the Broncos and the Chiefs. There are plenty of opportunities for the Chiefs to fail. Don't count them in quite yet. It's the opposite of these teams that, you know, maybe people were counting out early in the season. Don't count the Chiefs in until they're in right now.
And you said there's plenty of opportunities for the Chiefs to fail. There's plenty of opportunities for the Colts to fail down the stretch as well, which would also help the Broncos. They play arguably the NFL's best defense in Houston this week. They play a frisky Jacksonville team who has shown they can play with the best in the league. Then they play at Seattle, which is one of the hardest road games you can have in this league against a top 3 defense. I think Houston, Seattle, and Denver are head and shoulders above everybody. And then San Francisco, Jacksonville again, and then Houston again in Week 18. Like, this is not an easy schedule for the Colts. So, again, I just think there's opportunities for the Colts to lose, and I think this would have been a great time for the Chiefs to lose a game. Daniel Jones did Daniel Jones things and went 3 and out on the first drive of overtime, and he put the ball in Patrick Mahomes' hands, and we saw what the outcome was. And that's the difference between those two quarterbacks right there. So it's, again, there's a lot of football left to be played, but now on the bright side, the Broncos control their destiny for the 1 seed, which is huge. And the Patriots turned into a hospital yesterday. I mean, it sucks. I like that team. I think it's a fun team. But they had 2 offensive linemen get carted off yesterday, one of them being Will Campbell, their star young tackle who's been great at protecting Drake May. So even though they have an easy schedule, I mean, you saw the Bengals defense was giving them some trouble yesterday. The Bengals do not have a good defense. We've been over this.
One of the worst I've ever seen.
And as soon as the Patriots lose those linemen, things got a lot muddier for them. So they have some time before those games against Baltimore and Buffalo. But if those injuries are serious, we'll find out today, depending if they're season ending or if they're like a 4 to 6 week thing. It'll be big. But the Broncos are now fully in the driver's seat, a game ahead of the Colts and neck and neck with the Patriots. But the Patriots are injured. Even if the Broncos and the Patriots both win out and finish 15-2, 1 seed goes to Denver because of win percentage over common opponents. And you know why what the difference is in that one?
The Raiders.
The Raiders, Geno Smith putting up 362 yards in week 1. And that's
the Raiders look good in week 1. I'm actually shocked. I was like, they look like a dangerous team, but no, they are not.
And that was in New England. That wasn't in Vegas. They went on the road in week 1, and Geno Smith almost threw for 400 yards. And now that team is terrible, and it could easily be the reason why the Patriots don't get the 1 seed, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah. And the Patriots do, like, so worst case scenario, not worst case scenario, but realistic case scenario, both of these teams drop a couple games. It's more realistic, I'll say, for the Patriots to drop a few. I mean, Giants is what they play next week. That's going to be a tougher game than people think. I mean, the Giants
they got a spark.
They've got something there. They've got something there. Jameis Winston, man, Jameis freaking Winston. Sorry, kind of going off topic here for a second, but is this not the most Jameis Winston thing ever? Yesterday, throwing for 400 almost yards. Like, he was absolutely on fire, and then catching a touchdown. Come on, Jameis. So they've got to go play against that Giants team. That's going to be a hard game. Then they've got the Bills, and the Bills are the same thing as the Chiefs. Don't count Josh Allen out ever. He's a great player, an all-time player, will be one of the names that people remember for this decade. And then right after that, they've got the Ravens, who haven't been as great as they have been in the past, but those are tough games that they've got coming up for them.
Very tough games. And again, like these elite quarterbacks, just because they've proven they can play, you can't count them out. And I'm not saying that Drake May can't play in the playoffs. I'm not saying that Bo Nix can't play in the playoffs. They either have no sample size or a 1-game sample size. And these quarterbacks who have played a dozen games and have won a lot of these games, it's just playoff football comes down to experience. And the top seeds in the AFC don't have a lot of playoff experience right now, and that's a big thing. But home field advantage will certainly help it out.
Yeah, and experience is only built by one thing: getting there. So
Yes.
we're looking at the second season in a row, first 2 seasons of Bo Nix playing with this Broncos team. He's going to the playoffs. Do you know how many other teams can say that their rookie quarterback has gone to the playoffs in their first 2 seasons? I'd love to see the stat on that, because it's got to be a low number, right? I mean, there can't be that many rookies in the history of the NFL who have gone to back-to-back playoffs as the quarterback, right? Like, am I wrong in thinking that makes Bo Nix one of the better young quarterbacks in this league? I mean, Caleb Williams can't say it. JJ McCarthy obviously can't say it. Drake May can't say it. Like, they've got something here. This Broncos, and that's why I'm not worried about the Chiefs as much, because they've proven that they can beat the Chiefs and at home as well. Like, they can beat the Chiefs at home. And when you're in the playoffs, you're eyeing that number 1 seed. Everybody's going to be at home for you. This is a game, or not a game, but hypothetically in the playoffs, the Chiefs versus Broncos. This is a game that I would not be scared about the Chiefs as much as I have been in the past. That's why I'm so happy that they won yesterday, because they've just given the Broncos a better chance to put themselves in that number 1 seed. And that's, I know you disagree, but you got to look at right now. The Broncos are in a better spot than they were a couple days ago because of what the Chiefs did over the weekend.
Yes. And I guess, and again, like you only gain experience by getting there. And it's great. It's great that the Broncos beat Philly in week 5, and it's great that the Broncos beat Kansas City last week. There's no discrediting. Those were 2 great wins. But in order to be the best, you got to beat the best in the playoffs. And being the 1 seed would help, because they get they have to play 1 less game, but still you're going to have to play a Mahomes, an Allen, a Matt Stafford, and the Rams. That would be tricky, who look really good. So,
are you saying Super Bowl bound?
I think the Rams could easily win the Super Bowl this season.
But the Broncos too, like you said, like, hey, like you're
this defense. This defense can. We've seen it before. This defense can win a Super Bowl, no question.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The offense and the special teams, we got to get a little more consistency out.
That's
of
what I was gonna say. What's the word of the year? Right, consistency.
Consistency. But this defense, we know this defense can win a Super Bowl. The whole league knows it. There's no secret about that. So, but you gotta beat the best in order to be the best.
Yeah, and I think that the home field advantage really plays into it. Right now, the Broncos are looking good for home field advantage anyways. Whether or not they're the 1 seed or the 2 or 3 or 4 seed, they're still looking pretty good for a home field advantage. That should be the most important thing right now. Obviously, I know Sean Payton said that winning the division was the most important thing before this season. But right now, you put yourself in a great position for that. What's the next goal? I mean, you got to start thinking about these goals 1 game at a time. Is it be the number 1 seed, or is it just have a home game for the first game of the playoffs? I mean, it's got to be one of those 2 things, right? It's got to.
Yeah. I also, and like my thing too is like, if you have to go on the road in the playoffs, you don't want to go to Kansas City. You don't want to go to Buffalo. You don't want to go to Baltimore. You don't want to go to Philly. Obviously, the Broncos wouldn't go to Philly, but like there's places in this league where you're like, don't want to go there. Lucas Oil Stadium is not one of those places. A nice toasty dome in Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's a cakewalk.
You're not scared of, nobody's scared of Lucas Oil Stadium. They're scared of Arrowhead. They're scared of Buffalo. It, like, if you have to go on the road and, you end up playing the Colts and the 1-2 in the conference championship or whatever, that's not exactly the worst road game you could play in a playoff game, especially when you take into account that it's in a dome and you don't have to go play in some blizzard somewhere up north.
Yeah, even can we say Gillette Stadium is a hard place to play? I mean, is it that hard?
Gillette Stadium's a hard. That's great fans, and that place will be freezing in those playoffs.
Yeah,
you remember Tom Brady always wearing those scuba suits, those black scuba suits, because that's the warmest thing they got in those playoff games. So.
Yeah, I mean that would be a hard place to play. I still don't know. I feel like the Patriots. They are in a similar position to the Broncos last year. We're like, okay, you're looking good, but I don't know if they're really being expected to win anything in the playoffs this year. Like, I don't know what they're talking about up there in New England, but I think that just what they've done this season has proven that they can feel good about going and moving forward in the next season, because Drake May didn't play all last season. But they've got something built. They're building something up there. The Colts obviously building something. The Broncos are building. It's about to be unveiled what they've built in the past couple seasons, but they're looking good. Just like I'm really excited. And this feels, I almost want to throw up as I say this, but I'm really happy that the Chiefs won. I think that overall, when you look back at this season, you're going to probably be like, thank God the Chiefs won. Because I know you brought up some tough opponents for the Colts, but they've been looking really solid. And I don't know if they're going to lose much more this season. There's a real possibility that all 3 of these teams at the top of the AFC win out for the rest of the year. It's a very real possibility. So luckily, the Chiefs got it done. I'm happy. I'm excited. Moving forward, we got a big week coming up for the Broncos. Commanders week. Unfortunate that Jaden Daniels isn't playing. I would love to see these two QBs go at it with each other, but they've got a chance to win this weekend again. I'm very, very excited for what we can see with this Broncos team. How do you feel, Trent? Just put a bow on it for this weekend. Yeah, feeling good.
Feeling good, definitely. Big week. Now they have control. They got 2 easier opponents on the horizon. They got a primetime game, and we know that they slack off a little bit in primetime, so they got a chance to right the ship. So you brought up who do you think the last rookie quarterback to start, like be the majority starter to go to the playoffs in his first 2 seasons? Who do you think that quarterback is? Because we obviously we're having so obviously Knicks is going to do it unless the most historic collapse in NFL history happens. But who do you think the last quarterback to do that?
Okay, so obviously CJ Stroud.
I'm sorry, first round quarterbacks.
Was CJ Stroud a first round? Because I know he didn't.
Yeah.
I know that he didn't end up going to 2 back-to-back playoffs because he ended up having a sophomore slump, but he's a recent one where it's like, okay, their rookie season, they really changed. I'm trying to think of somebody no, it's not going to be somebody like the Packers. I'm going division to division. Not going to be.
Actually,
is it the Packers? No.
You had it on your first guess.
Was it CJ Stroud?
It was CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud did it. I thought that I didn't think that they went to the play. I had it on my first guess. You had to backtrack me real quick.
Stroud was so bad last year. Before CJ Stroud, it was Lamar Jackson.
Okay, so it was a bit of a gap. Yeah.
It was 2018-19 for Jackson and then 23-24 for Stroud. So
I was going to guess one of those big 3 guys. I was probably going to guess Joe Burrow, and then I was going to go Lamar.
But Burrow tore his ACL as rookie.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, you're right. I don't know why I still had it in my mind that CJ Stroud had such a big sophomore slump.
That defense was still good, and that division was terrible last year.
Yeah, you're right.
That division was so bad last year.
You're right. They did. Yeah. Okay. That's a fun question. So yeah, not that many. I mean, they only happen every what 2 or 3 times a decade. I mean, we've already got one this decade, second coming up with Bo Nix. It's pretty elite company for Bo.
Yeah.
Pretty elite company to do so. We should probably move on though, because when there's good news to talk about, there's got to be some bad news. And it's bad news with a hint of good, because the Nuggets ended up winning their 3rd play-in game of the year. They're now 2-1 in the play-in NBA Cup. Jeez, that's how it feels. It feels like play-in games, but they're fun. The NBA Cup. They won their 3rd. They're 2-1 in the West Group C, looking pretty good. Beat the Rockets, a really tough opponent. However, the Nuggets are going to be without one of their best players for a good chunk of time. Aaron Gordon went down in that game, and it's not looking great for him. And it really sucks because he was looking like he was going to be an all-star this year, averaging a career high in points, shooting a career high from the 3-point line. An amazing start to the season for Aaron Gordon is going to be tarnished by this injury that he suffered this weekend. Really, really unfortunate news to come out of the Nuggets locker room.
Yeah, and when I was watching it and I saw him go down, and it looked a little like I like hate to even put it looked worse than a hamstring is how I put it. It looked like an injury that Nuggets fans have seen before, not from Gordon, and it looked worse. And then you watch that was from the broadcast, you watch the rear angle, and you could just see that hamstring just give out on him. So it says 4 to 6 weeks. I hope it takes 8 weeks. I hope that they are extra safe with this. I get it. This might cost them the 2 seed, which would really, really stink. But as long as the Nuggets are the 10 seed in the playoffs and they get into the play-in and they have a healthy starting 5, that's more important. As long as they have all their guys healthy and ready to roll. So 4 to 6 weeks. If it takes longer, it takes longer. It's a hamstring. He had the bad hamstring in Game 6 of the second round last year. That was his left hamstring. This is his right hamstring that he hurt in the preseason. So is it an overcompensation thing? Sometimes that happens. Soft tissue injuries just suck. They're so hard to deal with. Soft tissue injuries in the NBA. Maybe Adam Silver will see all these injuries and shorten the schedule one day, but he likes all this money in his pocket. So even though all these star players, Wemby's not playing against the Nuggets this week. We see all the Achilles things. See these calf strains, these hamstring strains. It's just the soft tissue thing in the NBA is getting ridiculous to a point.
It is. It is. There are a lot of star players that are out right now. I mean, you look at, I believe Joel Embiid's still out. Damian Lillard's out. Victor Wembanyama, as you mentioned, is out. Anthony Davis. I mean, were we ever going to be surprised that Anthony Davis was sitting out?
Anthony Data Davis. That's what they call him on Inside. So
Kyrie Irving, my favorite non-Nugget of all time.
Yeah, he's got the ACL thing because remember they were playing him like 43 minutes a night after the Luka trade.
Yeah.
And then that happened. So it's just
Nico Harrison.
It's just a wear and tear.
I'm not even a Mavericks fan, and I could not hate Nico Harrison more. Oh my goodness. But yeah, and what this impacts more than anything with Aaron Gordon being out is the defense of the Nuggets. We already saw it with Christian Brown dropping from number 5, a top 5 ranked defense in the NBA to number 14, just with Christian Brown being out. And now with Aaron Gordon, I wonder how much more they're going to drop. I mean, you're talking about the 2 best defenders on the starting lineup. It's sure Cam Johnson has been incredible in certain ISO and pick and roll situations, but those 2 guys, Christian Brown and Aaron Gordon, held the defense down for the starting lineup because obviously Nikola Jokic is known as a non-defensive player. And I could go off on a tangent about how he's actually better at defense than people think. But those 2 guys are the most active on defense all the time. Whenever they're on the court, they are actively playing defense and looking pretty good at doing so. Now you're going to have to see more Payton Watson playing in the starting lineup, which I don't hate at all. But who's going to come and fill in that second spot for Christian Brown because he was already playing that spot for Christian Brown? Are we going to see more Tim Hardaway Jr.? Do they want to keep him on the bench where he's been thriving as that extra, little bit of fire that could come out of the bench and score 9 points in a quick 3 minutes? What do you think they're going to do? I mean, what's the starting lineup going to look like?
I think Hardaway's got to start. You got to keep him with Jokic. Now, like you said, the defense is obviously going to drop, which is fine. But now you need offense to compensate for that. And you need to put Hardaway with Jokic as much as you can. So they have a mini Tim Hardaway, a baby Tim Hardaway stashed on the bench who has been bad this season. But they're going to need him to step up on the bench. And that's Julian Strawther.
Juju.
You talk about a guy, and I love Julian Strawther. I loved him at Gonzaga. And you talk about a guy, you just said it. Just come get 9 points, hit 3 threes off the bench in one stint. He can do that. We all watched Game 6 of the Thunder series last year, where he arguably won them that game with that spark. We know
single-handedly, yeah.
We know Julian Strawther can do that. So for me, it's less about Tim Hardaway upping his role because we've seen Hardaway; he's been fine. It's about Strawther stepping into this role and succeeding. And I know he can hit threes. I know he's got a good floater game. The defense, his defense has been bad this season, and it's not been great. And that's going to be the biggest thing is, hey, is this bench unit going to be able to stay afloat on the defensive end of the floor now? And got my guy Spencer Jones. We know he's going to come out and give the clamps every single night. We know Spencer Jones is going to come play some good defense. But here's the thing. This also opens the door for Deron Holmes in my eyes.
Yes.
They've been playing him in the G League. He's been playing well in the G League. And there's nothing wrong with playing him in the G League this season. He just tore his Achilles, get him some reps and whatnot. The real reps are going to come faster than most people thought, but he's going to have to step up. And if he's not ready or if there's a night when he needs some rest, there's a guy making $8 million a year on the bench who we've talked about who's going to have to step up, and that's Zeke Naji. You're paying the man $8 million. You better hope he plays like an $8 million man for the next 2 months. And
honestly, if he goes out there and just grabs 2-3 rebounds a night, that would be more than we've seen in the past.
Just don't be a negative. Just don't be a negative.
Don't.
So here's my thing. My thing is less about the guys who have already been playing, and it's more about, hey, what are we going to get from Strawther? What are we going to get from Naji? And what are we going to get from Holmes? Because again, on the bench, you know what Bruce Brown's going to bring for you. You know what Spencer Jones is going to bring for you, and you know what Valanciunas is going to bring for you. There's no question about that. Will Hardaway be a little weird because he's not used to starting? Probably. It might take a game or two to adjust, but he's had a great chemistry with Jokic so far. But my eye
is a vet, too. He's a vet. He should be able to fit in seamlessly.
My eye is on those 3 guys entering the lineup, and how will they mesh? How will they look on defense? How will they help this team win basketball games? I'm not expecting this team to keep up their current pace of being the clear number 2 to OKC. That's fine. That's what injuries are about. Staying afloat, staying in the top 5 in the Western Conference, maybe even top 6, is probably the biggest goal through the new year.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that you brought Deron Holmes. I'm really excited to see him get some action. That should be something that every Nuggets fan should be looking forward to. I mean, this is a guy who was a first-round pick last year. He was expected to play real minutes last year. Of course, tore his Achilles in the summer league and had to sit out all year. Being recalled from the G League is a big step in his progress. I'm really excited to see what that looks like. Defensively, got to step up all these players, and that includes Nikola Jokic. That is the most I'm going to hold him accountable, because everything else he does is just so perfect. I mean, he's a perfect guy. Got to love Jokic. But these are the dog days of the season. You know, this is the time you're going into December. It's not going to be perfect. It's not. It never is. You're not expected to win every single game. Injuries are going to happen. Thankfully, they're happening now. If injuries were to happen like this in March, I would be scared. I'd be terrified. I'd be terrified, because even when you get back from injuries, you're still feeling not your 100% self. It sucks that this is likely going to stop Aaron Gordon from being an all-star this season. However, I don't think anybody on this team is focused on all-stars. I think they're focused on a championship, and right now they're in a prime position to win one. Unfortunate, though. Let's move on to something even more
Speaking of prime, position.
Speaking of prime position, the only thing Prime was focused on this weekend was seeing his son Shedeur playing in Las Vegas, and clearly that was the case, because they did not look like they were prepared at all for ASU this weekend. Terrible game. I thought I was at least going to have some fun going to this game. I did not have any fun. It was bad. It was bad, Trent. Really, really bad.
They lost this football game because of coaching malpractice. Without a doubt. They were in this game. Arizona State did everything they could to hand Colorado this game. Jeff Sims was the quarterback who handed CU the Nebraska game in 2023. Tried to hand them this game again when he just dropped the football on his own 10-yard line. And it was 21-14 at that point. CU starts the ball on the 9-yard line, and they end up kicking a field goal in a spot where I thought that they should have gone for a touchdown. You're already on borrowed time. Try and tie the game. They kick the field goal, and then it's 21-14. 21-17. Like, they're in this game. They are in this game. And you trade 2 punts, ASU fumbles again. You're like, oh my goodness, they just fumbled. CU's got the ball down 4 at the start of the fourth quarter. This is their time to go down and drive. And Deion Sanders puts Ronald Coleman in the football game. No shade to Ronald Coleman. Probably a great guy. He was on the field after the game, holding that ball high and tight, sprinting up and down the field. Micah Welch and Dallin Hayden were dominating this game. They were averaging at least 7.5 yards per carry at that time. And in comes number 45, who a lot of people thought was Quentin Gibson at first, which, everyone was like, why is Quentin Gibson in the backfield? And they're like, oh, that's not him. This man doesn't get touched, and he trips, and the ball falls out. And the very next play, Arizona State takes a run 88 yards to the house. And the whole stadium starts to empty. And after the game, Deion goes, I just wanted a change of pace. He wanted a change of pace from 2 running backs who were averaging north of 7 yards per carry. And he puts in a guy who has never gotten any action. I have never seen this guy. You know how many people had to look this guy up because they didn't know who he was?
I did. I actually did. I legitimately, when I was sitting in the stands, I did.
If you don't watch the well-off videos and you see like practice film, nobody knows who this guy is. And again, this is no shade to this guy. Like, it sucks because this is what happens to Coleman. He gets put in the spotlight that he shouldn't have been in. It's bad coaching. He should not have been in the spotlight.
It's not his fault.
Put him in. You have 2 proven D1 running backs, and this guy fumbles. And then Deion says He did it. He did what we thought he was going to do. What? You thought he was going to fumble?
Thought he was going to fumble the ball?
What do you mean he did what? He ran through a wide open hole that anybody who's played football in their life could run through and get 4 yards. It was a well-blocked play. Just absolute malpractice. It's the story of the Coach Prime era. Just bad decision after bad decision after bad decision. Plenty of guys were not dressed for that game. Jordan Seaton wasn't dressed. Maybe he's out. DJ McKinney wasn't dressed. He's getting ready for the draft. There are people who are sick and tired of this on that team. If I'm down Hayden and Michael Welch and I saw Ron Coleman go in that game and fumble, I'm taking my pads off and I'm leaving the damn program right after that.
And I wouldn't blame him. It's
insane that was the decision that was made. Cost them the game. Game instantly flips instead of CU has a chance to go up 24-21. They're down 28-17. And that's the story.
And it just got worse. It just got worse.
And then the defense was actually, I thought that the defense was holding on well through the first half. They only let 13 points in the first half, and they let a long touchdown early in the third quarter, or a long drive, 3 plays, 75 yards. And it just started to waver, and the offense just needs a total reconstruction. I mean, I think Julian Lewis is good. We've talked about this before. This is still Shermer's offense. God knows who's calling the plays these days. It's probably Shador. They probably got Shador on the phone calling the plays these days. But
yeah,
at the end of the day,
for the Raiders. He's calling the plays.
You can change the play caller. You can't change an offense in the middle of the season. You need an entire offseason to build an offense. This team needs a full teardown. Obviously, they're not going to take Prime, not going to take Lewis, but the coaching staff needs a full teardown. A lot of these position groups need a full teardown. They're somehow worse than the 2023 team, and that team, you're at least like, hey, this is the first year we're building. We got Shador and Travis. Where's the hope this time around? It's gone. The magic is gone. You got a terrible coach. Dion's a great motivational speaker. He's a good person, but man,
he could honestly fit seamlessly into one of those rooms in Boulder and be a great teacher. I mean, he could be a really good teacher. Just give him a book of anything, and he will somehow teach you on it. I mean, he'll do it, but he can't do this anymore. I don't know. I don't want to say it's past Prime's time, but
it is.
It's getting there. It's really it feels like it. And what I'm really worried about is next season, because next season, come December, the pay cut or the payoff. Or the buyout. Sorry, I'm looking for the words. The buyout drops by something like 10 million by next December.
It's 33 million right now. Obviously, it's not going to happen. You give him one more year. And also, this guy said last week, he said, I need a little more time to prove that I'm the right man for the job.
What? You went to a bowl game last season.
You went to a bowl game, and then
you got blown out by BYU.
There are 10 high school commits in this class. They're ranked 95th in the country for recruits. They're going to do this portal thing again. Tawfiq Bayard's a great portal player. There's a couple great portal players, but for every Tawfiq Bayard, there's a Martavius French and a Reggie Hughes who can't do anything at middle linebacker. There's a Jaheim Otis and a Caden Salter who stole however many $1 million from this program to be mediocre football players. It's just, this recipe is not working. And, look at Kurt Cignetti. Kurt Cignetti at Indiana is doing what Dion was supposed to do. He's getting some portal guys. He's flipping Dion's commits. He's got Indiana as the second best team in the country right now. It's just putting Ron Coleman in that game is one of the highlights of Deion Sanders' tenure at Colorado, because it shows that he's not a good coach and he's focused on feel-good stories and getting opportunities for his family and his friends rather than winning.
Yeah. Can you give me one word for how you could describe this season of
this
bus season? Embarrassed.
You know how embarrassing this is for all the CU alumni I see walking around Boulder, I see on social media, because there's CU alumni and then there's Dion fans, and that's what the CU fan base is made of right now, and it's toxic. There's two complete opposite sides, and these CU fans, they've been able to suck in peace for 2 decades, besides the 2016 season with our guy Phil. They've been able to suck in peace. And, hey, our team sucks, but nobody pays attention. Now they're the laughing stock of college football. Everybody tunes in every week to just hate on this school, on this university, and it's a laughing stock. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment.
Yeah. Yeah. Well put. Well said. It's sad. It's sad. Hey, at least Shador played well yesterday. At least Shador played well. I think we can give him that. But other than that, not much to be happy about, if anything, other than Julian Lewis for this CU team. Sad, distraught, upset. That's the feelings I was going through at this CU game. I'm not going to lie. I won't lie. I'll come on here and say it. I was one of the people leaving with that major evacuation at 35 points. I left. I didn't want to watch anymore. I figured there's nothing left to root for this team this season other than the future and next year. I mean, No, you know what I'm doing? I'm getting my hopes up right now. I'm getting my hopes up that next year is going to be any different when likely it's not going to be. It's not going to be. Pat Shurmur's still going to be here, and there's not going to be much to be happy about for this year, for this upcoming season.
It's bad. Back to the recruiting thing last thing, because I think it's hilarious. So their recruiting class, like I said, is below UMass. Nothing against UMass. Probably a great university. Not a football school. What do you think UMass's record is since 2019? They have played 75 games since 2019.
I'm going to guess like 10-65.
8-67.
Wow. I mean,
and their recruiting class is better than Colorado's. This is Deion's thing. This is supposed to be his thing, is recruiting. He's supposed to be a good recruiter. We're below 8-67 UMass.
Ridiculous.
It's insane.
Ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And I get the portal guys are going to come in, but the best players on the team this year have been freshmen and sophomores. That's the young guys that you can develop. It's just, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll try. I'm sorry to get you all heated today. It's supposed to be a good Monday. It's supposed to be a happy Monday. Take a break from the Broncos playing. Unfortunately, that means that we had to watch the Buffs play and just really bad. But thank you guys all for joining. Trent, thank you for, getting fired up and bringing that energy in the show. It's always a lot of fun. But thank you, everybody, for joining. We will see you all tomorrow. Until then, y'all have a great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.